to the Sad Dads Club podcast. Here's everybody's favorite sad dads, Jim and Foo.
We went to Original Al's over here.
Oh, yeah.
For dinner.
The old Pete's.
Old Pete's.
Yep.
It's always fun when the ladies go over there to pick up the things because a lot of band kids work there.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, we did yard work all Saturday. So I was like, I'm hungry.
Pizza.
Yeah. But I ended up getting chicken parmesan. But and hoping that someone would get something that I would then polish off later.
Some pizza.
But then my better devils got a hold of me. My son, he gets pizzas.
Uh-huh.
He eats like a third.
Does he get a large?
I think
What
it's
size?
their medium.
A medium, okay.
Which is like
For himself?
maybe yeah.
Jeez, dude.
Well, here's the thing. So he'll eat maybe 2 or 3 slices.
Yeah.
Because he's a smaller young man. Because all he does is move his mouse hand.
Yeah, he doesn't need a
And
lot
his
of...
WASD.
Yeah.
And that's it. Or his valve hand for the baritone.
Right. Or he uses his getaway sticks to go to school, right?
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, it's like 3/4 of a mile.
Yeah.
So he eats his pizza, and I'm immediately like, "Yep, that's my bitch right here, right here." So he doesn't bag up his leftovers. He just leaves the box on the thing, and so it's
With
like,
the pizza in it.
right, with the left pizza in it. So I'm like, well, as we're cleaning up for the evening, Venus had some of her chicken parmesan left over. It goes in the fridge for leftovers. Zander had some pizza left over, put it in Ziploc, put that in the fridge, fucking whatever. That's like Saturday.
Yeah.
Sunday comes and goes. No one's touching the pizza. Monday, Daddy's hungry. Daddy makes
breakfast is here.
Yeah, Daddy makes a joke about eating Mommy's chicken parmesan leftovers, but then she was like, "Well, I'm going to eat that for my." And I'm like, "Okay, well, shit, sorry." She's like, "No, you can have it." I'm like, "Fuck it, nope, I'm good."
It's yours.
There's like 2/3 of a fucking Hawaiian pizza in the Ziploc bags. I'm like, Dad tax. So I have a slice of the pizza.
Okay, one slice.
One slice.
Okay.
At that time, I have one slice.
All right.
It's fine. No. I mean, there was 2/3 of the fucking pizza left. I think I had 2 slices, but it still left like 4 slices of pizza in there. So I'm like, it's Monday. We're 48 hours late.
Sure.
This is like
It's borderline getting thrown out.
right.
Yeah.
It's like Piper and her fucking Red Bulls without markings. Like, if you're not going to consume this in 48 hours, Daddy's going to start hitting
It's
shit.
pizza. It has a shelf life at this
I'm
point.
going to start hitting it.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Dad tax. So, we're Wednesday. I think yesterday, in realizing there were 3 or 4 slices left, it may have been 3. There were 4 slices because yesterday I had 2.
Oh.
And then I may have had 1 for breakfast.
So that leaves 1 left.
So it left 1 slice.
Uh-huh. And that's the sad one with hardly any pineapple
yeah.
or no pineapple.
Well, we did have bacon, so he could have sprinkled if he cared to actually doctor it in any form or fashion. But he could have.
Well, that's the one sad slice is the one where everything's been pulled away.
Yes.
And all the good shit left already.
Yeah, or
and
has been shaken off at the bottom of the Ziploc bag, and you're like, what the fuck? It's just cheese, dude.
Yeah. Someone's eaten the pepperoni or the sausage
and like
off of it.
1 stale piece of pineapple left on the fucking thing. Anyway, so if you didn't catch it, I just ran into the house and then ran back, and as I'm passing, because it's leftovers night, as I'm passing my son, he goes, "Hey, did you eat my pizza?" I went, "What?" And he went, "There was like 1 slice of my pizza left." And I went, "Yeah, I ate your fucking pizza. You want to fight about it?" And he's like, "It was my pizza." I left you a slice.
You ordered that pizza last month, buddy.
It's Wednesday, Zander. He's like, well, but I'm hungry now for the pizza.
Because it's leftover day.
And I went, well, we can arm wrestle for it. And he's like, you already fucking ate it. And I went, yeah, dad tax. And then I just walked out of here.
Do you not like stomach bile pizza? Because that's what you'll have.
Whew. Okay, so funny story. Again, so this goes to like, he doesn't eat a lot because he's not very active. So he has like a very small, you would learn this in like biology, specifically in anatomy. When you, outside the people that get like the gastric bands, you know what I'm talking about. Your, the stomach as an organ itself, like if you, it will shrink in size relative to what you eat. And if you overeat, it like almost parachutes out and will stay there. It's very elastic, I guess is the short version.
Yeah.
It's very elastic.
Damn stomachs.
Right, it's crazy. Like if you, and it'll let you, and especially if you do it in a pattern, it'll let you, and then that becomes, well, welcome to American obesity epidemic. Hey, ball jokes. So he doesn't eat a lot. He certainly doesn't eat like probably you and I did as young people who like go outside and do shit. Like we would probably consume way more than.
Well, it doesn't seem like he's like super motivated by food.
Right. He's not. He's the very thing. He has my metabolism, and certainly has Piper's metabolism and his mom's at the young years. Like he would have to consume a ridiculous amount of calories to put on weight. He blinks and he's burning fat, kind of a thing. So he eats very low, and plus because he doesn't take in a lot of food, his stomach doesn't afford him to eat in large quantities anyway. Hence the like 2 to 3 slices of pizza of a medium-sized pizza
For 4 days.
Right, for 4 days, dude. 4 days. We're not in zombie plans. You don't have to ration this shit. He what did he say? It was a couple weeks ago. Venus got him Easter candy. It wasn't a couple weeks ago, but there was another scenario further back. But for Easter, Venus got candy, and she gave it to him basically saying, I think Saturday night, like here's early, it was just a box of candy or gummy worms or something. She was like, don't eat it all in one sitting, kind of a thing. Because he had said a couple weeks back that he had eaten something like a thing of candy, and it gave him like upset stomach, and he was like, I didn't feel good, and it was just I ate too much candy too fast, or his last. Let's see. He was on spring break this week. I think Thursday of this week. I told that out of sequence. Thursday of this week, he went and saw the Minecraft movie. And I don't know if anyone's been. There's some whole thing about fucking kids throwing popcorn and shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'll take you to this, but I don't want any
confetti and shit.
I don't want any fucking throwing shenanigans. He's
They're
like,
yelling and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, he's like, no, that's not my crew. I'm like, okay, well, just, but also be aware that that's. He's like, yeah, I know what's going on, Dad. You're fucking.
What's that? What's that old movie that people used to act out? And what's that movie? They would go to the theater.
Rocky Horror Picture.
Yeah, it's the kind of like almost like the new Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah, and I only caught enough news to know that it was happening to just be able to float it as a. I don't care if you go. He's a Minecraft kid. He enjoys the game still. I'm like, I don't care if you go, but I don't want. I don't want you. Not that he's that kind of kid. But I'm like, don't get peer pressured into doing stupid shit. He's like, no. His friend group they're going and they don't want to take part in any kind of that bullshittery anyway. I'm like, perfect. Well, I hope you have a good time. Thursday is my day off. I drove him over there. they were going to go and get some candy at the whatever that store is in the fucking mall or whatever. Go see the movie, and then shenanigans at the arcade or whatever it is that's on the bottom floor or the second floor or whatever.
Round one.
And then call me. I'll come get him. Somewhere 2.5, I'm doing yard work, garage cleanup, whatever. I think they saw, I don't remember what showing, but it was like 2.5, 3 hours later. I get a call. Usually it's like, oh, okay.
This is the Roseville Police Department.
Usually it's just a text like ready for pickup. You know, it's
Yeah.
like fucking sure, whatever. On my way. But he calls and he's like, hey,
Bring some pizza.
ready for pickup, but I got sick. I went, are you okay?
In the face or the rear?
Right. And I'm like, are you okay? He's
Yeah.
like, yeah, I ate too much candy.
Oh.
And then at the end of the show, when I stood up, it like and then I realized I needed to get to the bathroom as fast as possible, and I didn't make it. And he in the theater. I went,
brutal.
okay, are you okay? And he's like, yeah, I'm pretty embarrassed. And I'm like, were people still in the theater? He's like, most of the people were gone because I was like waiting like, He got like lightheaded and then all the sugar and shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, he got sick. And I'm like, okay. And he had one of his friends was like on speakerphone. I'm like, okay, well, are you guys okay? He's like, yeah, we're waiting for the staff to come and like
Steam clean.
Yeah, clean. He's like, they're very like sympathetic. They're not. He's like, I'm very, very embarrassed. I'm very sad. He's like,
brutal.
I've messed up, and I'm like, it happens. It happens. I'm on my way.
Yeah.
Went and picked him up, and I'm like, are you gonna be okay? He's like, sucks. This stupid. I'm like, you just gotta. You don't have the body type or the kind of activity to like lurch from that type of like food intake. Like you can't just go. It could have just as easily been Taco Bell or like Dave's Hot Chicken or something like.
The shock to the system.
The type of food that he consumes, going from like spectrum to spectrum on the outliers, is gonna do crazy shit to his system. That's so like vanilla anyway.
I always consider myself to have a stomach of steel because I don't really get upset tummy. Like I don't eat stuff and it bothers me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And part of me thinks that it's very. I used to think that was a good thing, but as I get older, I kind of wish that I did have a little bit of a
weaker of a
because then
fortitude.
You would be more conscious about what you're stabbing in your face. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you would have moments where you're like, I just don't feel good, so I'm not eating.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I would be okay with that.
My brother famously, in his 20s, hot sauce fiend. Like the hot shit.
Yeah.
Like the stuff I would never even consider touching.
Yeah.
And then at some point, after being a dad, I think his girls were maybe in the single digits. I'm over there with my dad, and it's like a family gathering at his house, and someone mentions like hot sauce, and he's like, nope. Like he'd gone. He's like, I can't. I can't. It like absolutely just tears me up anymore.
Really?
Yeah. He had like gone around the horn, so to speak. He could not do it anymore. He's like, I don't touch it. It like I'll spend all night like just with indigestion and heartburn, or it's blowing out my ass the other way. I'm like, oh, shit. And my dad, for a number of years, would like closely keep pace with him. Not quite, but he would dabble. Like Brett would, because they were at some point they were still like staying in the house for a bit, because obviously he's the last one there. So my dad would like dabble with some of the stuff, but not, where Brett's gonna put 6 squirts of something on there. Dad does 2, and he's like, yeah, that's fucking hot, kind of like some sort of like man up type of shit.
Yeah.
My dad is 100% like, nope, I don't fuck with that shit at all. I'm tapped out. I got too many smarts to deal with that shit. I'm like, oh shit. So where I have had at this point a Hot Ones subscription for a couple of years, I have a collection of hot sauces that I now dabble with, but only in moderation. Both the other men in my family line want nothing to do with that shit.
That's so wild.
They are 100% tapped out. I'm like, fucking you guys, it's cool. And they're like, nope, I'll be hating life for 2 days with that shit.
When was the last time you... This is a disgusting topic, but when was the last time you threw up? Do you remember? Recently?
It's been a while, and it would have been like alcohol induced. It would have been like, I drank too much. So probably 2-3 years, maybe.
I have never thrown up from alcohol. First of all,
yeah,
not one time.
Yeah,
and I can count on one hand the number of times I have thrown up as an adult.
Well, that's pretty good.
That's what I'm saying. I got like this stomach of steel or something. You know what I mean?
Is it that you think you curate your food, like you don't fuck around? Like, okay, wait. I'm trying to think the last time I heard you talk about... You had Safeway sandwiches a ways back where you guys all thought you had food poisoning, right?
Yeah.
But you didn't get sick. It just ran through you guys on the backside, yeah?
Yeah, just to like up. Just a little bit of an that was one of the rare times I was like, oh, my stomach feels messed up. Yeah, but like my wife yesterday stayed home from work because she threw up several times in the morning. And this happens all the fucking time.
Oh, well,
Chandler is a similar thing. He has like a weak digestive system to some degree.
Yeah.
And he'll be on the can or chucking. And I'm like, what? I don't, you know what I mean? Like, it seems like it happens a lot.
Venus, I would say Venus just knows her food limitations. She has a sensitive stomach, but a lot of times I think that's relative to the severe migraines that she has.
Yeah. She's got triggers already.
Piper generally is pretty self-aware with like her dietary guardrails. Zander is sensitive. Like his digestive system is probably the most particular in the house. Hot dogs, if it's not a hot dog that I have cooked, it's a notoriously it's a bad thing for him.
Really?
Like if he has like a,
if you go to Costco or something.
Yes, if it's honest, I would not even fucking test it.
Oh my God.
If it's a vendor hot dog on some sort of roller thing, nope.
I feel like we need to test this.
No.
Yeah, this is fucking science, bitch.
Not my son.
Oh, yes, sir.
Shit. I'll put him at your house on your toilets, and we'll see what happens.
We need this data, sir.
School cafeteria stuff? Absolutely not. Like band excursion stuff?
Yeah.
Absolutely not. Man, I would be iffy. Venus would probably have to cross-check me on like a Disneyland corn dog. Probably safe.
Now,
probably safe.
I remember we went to Disneyland, and I think it's the Carnation Cafe, which is like halfway down Main Street on the left side.
Yeah.
There's that little cafe there.
Yeah.
First thing in the morning, I think we're there for dance or something.
Yeah.
We go to that place and get breakfast. And I don't know what it was Melanie had, but it was something that like didn't feel right texturally or something.
Yeah.
And she threw up on the table at that restaurant
immediately.
Yeah, like within like 10 minutes or so.
Oh, wow.
And so, I mean, these are the kinds of things that seem like they happen to us a lot.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
We have been to, what's the hot dog place that's up here off Blue Oaks?
Parker's?
No.
Doghouse.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's had stuff from there.
No problem?
No problem.
Okay.
I make brats or jumbo hot dogs or normal hot dogs here on the grill or on the Blackstone. And what was that one experiment I think I sent you pictures of like months ago? The cheese hot dog that's down and it's like a fucking cheese skirt and hot dog.
Yeah.
The results are fine.
Right.
There is something about a commercially processed hot dog in a cafeteria situation for him that is like a bozo no.
Maybe it's like they're boiled and then they just like sear them real quick or whatever.
Right.
You know, I don't know.
Yeah, or they're just sitting on a grease roller for 2 hours with some sort of staph bacterial thing going on. Who the fuck knows? But it does not work out well for him. I'm
That's
trying
hilarious.
and candy in large quantity, and like we don't, relative to how I grew up, like if I had candy, the candy got pounded. It was like, and soda.
Yeah.
I drank tons of soda and Kool-Aid as a kid.
Oh yeah.
All the time.
Oh yeah.
Without a whole bunch of like helicoptering or gating, the kids both don't even come close to the amount of soda or sugary drinks that I consumed as a kid.
Yeah.
Nor candy. Both of them like candy, but like the Halloween situations where they come home with like a bag of candy, I don't know about you, but I would have consumed the entire bag of candy in 72 hours or less.
For sure.
My kids consume it at a like
leisurely pace.
Yeah, at a paced ration type of thing, and may not consume it at all before we just go, okay, it's
old.
It's time to shit can the fucking candy. Or I'm going to eat it.
Yeah.
Kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So, relatively speaking, both of the kids have almost like a built-in moderation to a number of like sugary foods, which is good for my dental bills. But when they go full tilt, it almost instantly goes sideways as far as like digestive.
Because they're not used to it.
Yeah. So in his case, not only does he like have a fast metabolism, but he doesn't have a huge stomach to store all that shit like grown-ass adults would, or someone who's overeating or obese as a kid.
Yeah.
It hits him a lot faster. So, you know, he went sideways fast. And like we were saying earlier, he's probably the most sensitive. He also has like texture stuff. Like I don't know.
Chandler does.
Does he have textures? Like what's his texture?
There's some, I forget now off the top of my head what it is, but like raw onion, for instance, like
okay,
you know, stuff like that. I mean, I think he has, he will eat some raw onion now, but like for years and years there were like veggie things and stuff like that that he I forget exactly what they were, but he's had a bunch of them over the years that just like,
Zander,
that's disgusting.
Zander, tomato sauce, like is either too acidic to him.
Oh.
Or it may be that it treats his digestive system, like gives him rumbly tumbly. I'm not quite sure. So he'll usually, like when we do a Blaze pizza or like a mod pizza type of thing, he'll do light red sauce. When we do spaghetti, he'll typically opt for either just a
Alfredo or something.
small amount of butter on the noodles
Mm-hmm.
or Alfredo.
Yeah.
We'll eat hash browns, like almost like the McDonald's preformed. You
buy them at Trader Joe's.
Yeah. Like the pucks of like hash browns.
Yeah.
He'll eat those. He'll eat French fries, but tends to steer clear of almost like a quartered red potato or a baked potato.
Oh.
Or mashed potatoes. It's a consistency thing that doesn't sit right for him.
Interesting.
But it's not potatoes because he'll eat French fries.
Right.
So puddings
texturally
doesn't
no good.
It's not a thing.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we've done Jell-O. I'd be curious to see what his Jell-O thing is.
Like I love bread pudding, right? It's not my favorite, but I enjoy bread pudding.
Oh yeah.
Shanna won't touch it.
Won't touch it?
No, it's disgusting.
Soups. He'll eat his weight in like a broth and ramen noodle,
Mm-hmm.
but my Irish stew, nope. He'll eat a cream of mushroom soup in a small portion. Usually it's because I add mushrooms. I'll buy like a can and then like tweak it, modify it. He'll eat that in not a full portion, but like a
ramekin or something.
Yeah, a very small portion. He's like, I like it as an additive, but I couldn't eat a bowl of it. I'm like, oh, well, okay. So stews, not so much, but a thinned broth ramen, he'll go ape
So
shit.
if it's sort of like thickery texture sort of thing,
and I'm not quite sure, and that's the difference. Like he's because I'm not hot as a parent. I'm not hot on I'll only give you what you'll eat. And that starts to
or make you what you'll eat.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not hot on that. If he was like, I don't like this, then that's not the kind of parent that we are in this house. So it's like but I recognize that he may have a texture problem.
Yeah.
And that's okay. So a lot of times we'll tap dance around the family's going to have burritos, and he doesn't like refried beans, or he doesn't like the consistency of some rices. So I'll make him a kicked up, super complex quesadilla.
Yeah.
He's got almost everything of the burrito,
but in a flat form.
Yeah. You've got the tortilla, you've got the flank steak, you've got the ground beef.
But part of that's it's not a big log of beans or something, right?
And a lot of times, the differential between a super quesadilla and a burrito, a lot of times is very minimal. It's just almost presentation.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of times I almost try to press the bounds of
how much can I go?
Right. Are you being particular because you're being particular, or are you being particular because something doesn't feel right? I'm okay with something that doesn't feel right, and I accept that
But I got to find the limit.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm going to fucking find
science, bitch.
Science, bitch. You're my personal experiment based off of offspring.
Let's go back to the Costco hot dog thing. Speaking of science.
Okay, go.
No, let's do it.
Oh, no. Fuck, man. In your house, not mine.
We can take it to a park right after. Or you can eat it at a park, or we'll just hang out for a while.
We're going to go get Costco hot dogs and a slice of 2 pieces, and then we're going to fucking sit you at Silverado Park, and you eat both of these. And whenever you feel like you need to make a run to the shitter.
Or yak.
There's
a planter right there.
That's just in the fucking... We're not paying for the fucking thing anyway, landscaping. Just do it, man.
We're doing this for science, sir.
Your mom has puked on a junior college lawn before. It's your turn, man. Go get it. And if you want tutorial, just ask your mom. # sorry, wife.
That reminds me of Shanna throwing up at the taco tree.
Oh, no way.
Oh, yeah. AJA party.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Are you going to get in trouble? Don't do that.
What do you mean?
I don't know.
No.
# I'm looking out
Maybe.
for you, Shan.
She might.
Oh.
No. But, it was one of those things where we went to the AJ picnic. She had a little too much, but didn't really kick in until we don't know what happened. Like, we were literally getting ready to leave.
Yeah.
And she went I got to go to the bathroom. Okay. She came out, and then it was like, it instantly hit her.
Oh.
And we're all, what is happening?
Oh, no.
Yeah. And then that drive home.
We were, speaking of Taco Tree,
Yeah.
# Taco Tree, looking for a sponsor. Not a sponsor, though. On our way down to 2 weeks ago, when we were doing we went up to get the truck to do dirt stuff in Folsom.
Yeah.
So Venus went up with me to my dad's to drop me off to get the truck. So she's following me down.
Was it in the morning?
Yes. It was. I didn't get what you think I might have
Oh,
gotten.
damn. You didn't get breakfast burritos?
But as we're coming through McKnight and Elm, she goes, "Hey, are you hungry?" And she's behind me, and I'm like looking at her in the rearview mirror. I'm like, I know where she's going. She's like, "You want a burrito?" I was thinking breakfast burrito.
Yeah.
She's like, "I'm stopping at Taco Tree, and I know where you're gonna end up. Do you want a burrito?" I'm like, "Fuck yeah, I want a burrito." So I proceed down Auburn, Folsom. I make it to Folsom. I'm loading the thing. She shows up a little late. And then she puts the fucking burrito in the cab of the fucking Dodge, and I'm like, "This is love.
Yeah.
This is how love." And then we took shit from Piper because then
she didn't have anything for it.
Because then my wife
mentioned it.
Made a huge mistake, in saying. So we stopped at Taco Tree, and Piper was like,
sometimes you just got to protect the peace.
"The fuck?"
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I have never had a breakfast burrito from Taco Tree.
Okay. First of all, Taco Tree is legendary.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I don't know what the deal is with that place.
Yeah.
It's like Taco Bell, but way better. They only have 2 stores.
I will make endless jokes about butthole spray from Taco Bell.
Oh, yeah.
But Taco Tree,
There's something magical that's happening there.
I will ride or die for Taco Tree.
And when I would drive up in the morning, if I was hungry, I would.
This is on your commute.
Yeah, when I commuted up to work, I would stop in at the Taco Tree in the drive-thru, and I'd get me 1 or 2 breakfast, because they're small.
Are they?
1 or 2 breakfast burritos, and like a large iced tea.
Oh my God!
Oh, and some the hot sauce.
Yeah.
Fuck, they're so good. So it was like the bean, egg, beef and cheese, or something like that. I want to say
No bacon or sausage.
No.
So the breakfast part is the egg.
Yes,
Okay.
and they're just really. They're nice and simple, but they're fucking tasty.
Okay.
They're worth it.
Okay. Do you know if there's a cutoff? Because I wonder. Because we
Say
were
it's like 10,
is it
30
okay,
or something like that.
I think we were just a hair after 10 when she drove by.
Yeah. So.
Fuck, that would have been.
Yeah.
Dope.
They didn't usually make it all the way to the office.
Really? Yeah.
And I would be like, trying to drive and holding the burrito.
Yeah.
And then using the packets and trying to like not get hot sauce all over myself or the car.
Yeah.
And,
I ate that burrito on the way back from Folsom all the way to, it didn't make it to the house. It was fucking gone. And then I was like, well, I'm not saying, it's gone. So I'm not saying anything to the kids. And then my wife made the fucking mistake of being like, I stopped at Taco Tree, and Piper just flipped tables. Why? It would have been cold by the time I got here.
Fun fact. So we used to take Max, our dog, to have his nails and teeth cleaned at the Petco that was over here by the theaters on Blue Oaks.
Yeah.
And they closed that store. And the girl who did the nails, all the people that worked there got distributed to other stores. So they didn't get like canned necessarily, they just got moved. Well, she ends up in Auburn, which is right there by like a big block away from Taco Tree by Target.
Okay. Oh,
yeah, at that Petco by
Bell Road.
Bell Road. So we still have the subscription for the dog to have his nails and teeth cleaned, so you go and you don't pay anything.
Mm-hmm.
So we really liked her a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So we would take Max to Auburn.
Oh, yeah.
Which from here is like a 20-ish minute drive, 25 minutes.
Yeah.
So we would drive up there knowing that we could go to Taco Tree for lunch.
Yes.
And even better is they give treats to the dog.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Oh, fucking hell.
Be like, and if you're in the drive-thru, they just, you got a dog and they have a treat? Sure. And then they give you treats. What do they
give the dog?
Usually milk bones or like jerky sticks.
Yeah.
Or both, depending on who's working.
Shit.
But
jobs for the driver?
We'll go and eat outside with the dog, and I'll go in and order the food and be like, hey, I got a dog outside. And they're like, sure. And they go grab
that's
treats.
Awesome.
Yeah. And so Max, he's excited because he knows he's getting a treat.
Fuck yeah.
And we're getting Taco Tree, so we're happy.
Nails and a treat.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
Nice.
And we always try to go to the North Auburn one. Dry Creek?
Dry Creek.
Yeah.
Yeah. Arco, there's a Beach Hut Deli right there.
Yeah.
There's a Dino.
Because that one's newer and there's more seating.
Yeah.
And the outside's a little nicer.
Yeah. If you're OG, you go to that one by Placer High School.
Well, I think the original one was the one in North Auburn, but it's been moved. It was moved to the location it's at now and was torn down.
Oh.
So that building's no longer there. I think we're Dutch Bros or whatever, somewhere in that.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
It was really old.
Yeah.
So I think that was the original one.
God damn it, Dutch Bros.
Well, I don't think Dutch Bros was the reason. I think that building
was probably
on its last leg. Or
NW.
Outside of
DOA.
outside of its happy
lifespan.
Time.
Yeah. We were talking about earlier before the show started about funny haha with us being young at heart and not realizing our age.
Yes.
We were last night on the couch as we were trading Instagram funny ha-has with the kids. Piper ended up going to bed and Zander sitting on the couch. And it's Venus and I and Zander. And the last couple days, I have found a couple Instagram things that have brought me to tears in laughter.
Yeah.
One was it was someone that had painted like a very primitive face on the back of a pig, and the pig was like rooting around. And as the tail moved, you saw the pig's asshole, and the overdub was someone just whistling. It was like as the pig moved around and it moved its tail, and you saw the asshole like
yeah. Is that pig porn?
Yes, I was laughing so hard at that. At the time, I think I only sent it to my daughter because it was like she has this weird sense of humor that it was like, if anyone else is going to laugh to tears with this shit, it's going to be Piper. So I sent it to Piper, but the whole time I'm walking around the house barely able to see because I'm laughing so hard I'm crying. It's hurting.
Yeah.
And then I end up sending it to my wife, which then re-kicks off the spawn of laughter and the tears. And then I'm like, well, now I feel bad and I've stopped laughing. So, okay, I'm going to let Zander in on the joke. And then he's like, it's really funny. But I'm over on the couch.
Yeah.
I'm over on the couch, doubled over in laughter again. They fast forward another day or so, and I end up running across this toddler. There's I'm gonna say like a Weimaraner. It's like a gray, one of those gray pewter colored dogs, male dogs, and its balls are the way it's like laying on its side. So its balls are like pushed out by its tail
Okay.
in a clear, just touchable pouch. And the camera zooms out to have this toddler be like pushed or put on the couch. And then the toddler just grabs for the nuts of the dogs and just kind of like squishes them. And then the camera pans over to the dog, and the voiceover is some gentleman that just absolutely slayed me. He was like, and so I'm just laying there, and then this goddamn baby just starts playing with my fucking balls. And the look on the dog is like,
Oh, yeah.
they're like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
And then the camera pans back to the baby, and the baby's just got a handful of fucking testicles and is just working around like Benoit balls. The voice dub is really what slayed me. So then I sent that to both my kids as well.
Sure.
So we're sitting on the couch last night. And my wife is sending me funny haha shit, and I'm sending shit to her. And it's dead time, and then Zander realizes that we're laughing, and he's like, "What are you guys doing?" We're like, we're sending each other funny haha. Zander's like, "Well, I'll send you some stuff. Like, you probably won't get my humor." I'm like, "Oh, whatever." He sends me a couple things, and they're like the typical what we had talked about earlier in the week. Both of my kids like to send me stuff that makes me like reflexively go "Ugh!" of like people hitting poles,
Okay.
or people hitting trees, or falling, or hyperextending a joint,
Oh, yeah.
and watching me
Cringe.
or like wince in pain.
Yeah.
Because
You know it's coming.
I don't need to see the dental bills. Like, honest.
Well, luckily for you, you're not paying.
Right. But I can't unsee it, and so it's like instantly like. And plus, we're of a generation that was doing stupid shit.
Oh, yeah.
Where some of these things may have happened, like, oh, I just fell out of a treehouse that was 25 feet up, and
Right.
I can't breathe, and I may have had a separated or broken rib, but I just walked it off, because you don't know better.
Yeah.
My kids are band kids, so they don't know mountain biking down a trail and hitting a 15-foot jump and getting 2 feet more air than they should have, and nosediving or endoing and ending up in the dirt.
Yeah.
They don't know that.
Or missing the transition altogether.
Right.
Yeah.
They don't know that.
Yeah.
So they think watching me cringe and absolutely lose my shit in pain is...
It's because you're weak.
Right, yeah, because I'm just inferior.
Not because you're experienced with such things, but because you're weak.
Right, because Dad just doesn't have a stomach for these funny
He
things.
just can't handle it.
He can't handle it. So my daughter gets a real big kick out of it, and so my son, the first couple things he sent us on the couch last night are a couple of these silly type of things. And
skateboard to the nuts.
Right, yeah, you ollie and you hit the pole instead of the fucking, like, you miss the grind entirely and you wrap your taint
with the corner of your...
Anyway. You catch a gooch.
You ream yourself a new asshole.
Right.
With a truck.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, like, I'm pretty sure the bearings aren't supposed to go there.
Yeah.
That's an orifice, not the curb.
Yeah. And
So
if you're being responsible, a gentle transition.
Right, right.
Not a
It's
bearing.
a kick flip to a grind, not a kick flip to the taint.
Right.
It's different.
Yeah.
Tony Hawk taught me. So we're passing stuff around, and finally my son sends me like one last thing, and he's like, "Ooh, let me know when you get to that one." And I'm like, "Oh, fuck, here we go." But in between, I get another adult version of something from my wife that's like something about, take me on various places to bend me over in various places over a thing. And so I'm giggling. And then Zander's like, "No, really, let me know when you get to mine." And I get to it, and it is a Henry Cavill cooking recipe of some ribeyes that he makes with an amazing like linguine with garlic, roasted garlic butter thing. And I look at my wife and I go,
"What the fuck?
Something's wrong here." I said, "I send my son dog balls being played with by toddlers, and I lose my shit. And my son is sending me cooking recipes that are executable."
I'm waiting for it.
Yeah,
I'm waiting for whatever's going to happen.
No, that was
it.
That was it. It was just that I had realized I was. My wife and I were completely still juvenile, and my kids, at least my son, is sending me cooking. Like the intake is,
Wait, because I'm confused. Because part of me is expecting that he wants you to let him know that you've seen it. Like,
right? Oh, I did, and I went, oh shit, that's a good recipe. He's like, you should make that, and I went,
okay,
okay, well. Yeah, I mean, that looks good. He's like, God damn, that steak looks amazing.
Really?
And I'm like, yeah, but I send you kids playing with dog balls, son. He's like, yeah, but
that steak,
that ribeye, it looks really good. I'm like, we should make that. I'm like, okay.
I'm glad to hear that.
I mean, I guess we could.
I'm glad to hear that there is as much social media sharing in your house as there is in my house.
Yeah.
Because it is a common, there are multiple chat threads of multiple people, and sometimes you find something for this person and something for this person.
Yes.
And sometimes it goes in the big bucket with a bunch of people.
Yes.
Right? And sometimes that's hard to figure out. Sure, I'll send it to everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. We're still working on, because Zander is relatively new to Instagram.
Okay.
And that's really the only social media platform he fucks with.
Yeah.
But Piper, Venus, and I have shared a number of stuff for a while now, and a lot of it centralizes on cats, like the whole cat meme between the three of us. Like Piper, like the one that we really have a collective sharing thing on is entitled Piper Wants a Cat. And generally all the cat memes and shit like that go in there.
Okay.
But then it has slowly evolved to pretty much like you're saying. Piper and I will routinely share stuff that probably only her and I share a humor bone with that Venus doesn't get.
Yeah.
And there are the adult stuff that Venus and I certainly share, and then I'm sure Piper and Venus have their own shares. But there is like oftentimes I'll be like, well, yeah, this is the whole family.
Yeah.
Like everyone in the family needs this one.
But if you're sitting around with each other, do you get a whole bunch of like, check this out?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, look at this. Look.
Piper will come into like last night. Piper will come into the office before she goes to bed. And I think it's like a mashup of all the things like her friends and her and probably her mom and her have all like gone through. And so she'll have a collection and she'll go, okay, so before I go to bed, and she'll go, okay, this one. And I'll go, yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then she'll go, okay, this one.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then it's like, and I'll try and turn around and finish a thing on the computer, and she'll be like, no.
You're not done yet, sir.
One more. Yes.
Yeah.
One more. Okay, look at this one. Watch this one. What do you think is this one?
Yeah.
And then I'll be like, that's not. She's like, oh, that's stupid. Okay, well, how about this one? And then it's funny, haha.
That is funny.
Yeah. So my family, it's
funny because we'll be sitting in the family room together, and the TV is not even on, and we're just chilling.
Yeah.
And it's like TikTok.
Yep.
Or Instagram.
Yep.
Or blue sky or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then it's just like all of a sudden you hear bling, bling, or look at
this. Watch this.
Wait,
one.
hold on. Ready? Okay, now watch.
Yeah.
You know, you got to swipe down and swipe it back up.
Yeah.
Or if it's fucking TikTok, it's like swipe down and sometimes it goes away and you're like, fuck, where'd it go?
Are there any ones that absolutely slay you that the other two don't?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's times I'm like fucking dying laughing and I share it and they're like, oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, that was so fucking funny.
Honestly,
I had tears coming out of my eyes.
The toddler with the dog balls, I was laughing. So, and then I think Venus, at the time I saw it, I was laughing so hard. Venus was in the shower and she's like, "Oh my God, are you okay?" I'm like, I am fucking dying out here.
Yeah.
And then I think Piper's door was open and she's like, "What's going on?" I'm like, "I just sent it to you." And then I lose my shit.
Yeah.
And then she like watches it and she's like, "Yeah, I get, that's funny." I guess.
I get this kind of thing where Melanie will be like, she'll show Shanna and Shanna will laugh.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay. And then she'll turn her phone to me and I'll look at it and be like, but that doesn't make any sense.
I don't get it. Yeah.
And today was just tonight at dinner. It was like, I'm here to party. And it's like, P was pajamas, A was something, and it didn't even fit. And like, it didn't make any fucking sense. And I'm like, but what's the R and the Y? They're not, there's no word. She goes, well, that's what's funny about it. And I'm like, it doesn't make any fucking sense.
I don't get it. Yeah.
No, it's not that I don't get it. I think it's not funny.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And she's like, that's what's funny about it. I'm like, no,
not so much.
but this is the kind of shit that happens.
Yeah.
She'll show something weird like that. And she's like laughing and Shanna laughed. And then they'll show it to me, and I'm like, "That's not. Well, that doesn't make any sense."
Some of the stuff my daughter has shown me is like so off the wall niche.
Yes,
like, I don't even know how that got in your feed. It's so, and I'll look.
And who was the person that put it together?
Yes,
like who is this lunatic?
That like, how is that actually possible? Someone made that.
Yeah,
like, that's so off
the wall and random.
And then it made it into your feed. So
what is part of your algorithm?
Holy
Let's dive into that.
Yeah.
What?
Random silly. I'm like, what? How did that happen?
I don't get it.
Like
that happens enough.
Yeah.
Too many times. I'm worried.
Yeah.
I'm worried for our future.
Like, what are you looking at?
And how is it funny?
When you're not looking at cat shit, what the fuck are you looking at?
Where's the funny?
But now since the one show where we were talking about dogs, where I get a lot of my boxer stuff now through like social media things.
Yeah.
I think Venus's feed now has like a number of the same boxer dog feed stuff. So now we bounce boxer stuff off each other and like, oh, yeah. We were at Green Acres getting stuff for the garden on Friday.
I'm waiting for it.
Oh yeah. And we're wheeling a cart around and there was a gorgeous 10-month-old.
Oh,
and I know it because they told us boxer.
Yeah,
like one row over from where I was pushing the cart, and Venus is like maybe 5 paces ahead of me. And I go, "Uh-oh, danger!" And Venus looks back at me and she goes, "What?" And I look over at the boxer, and it was a middle-aged couple, boxer on a harness and a leash in the outdoor part of Green Acres. Very young, happy to be there, typical boxer behavior. And I went, I'm going this way. And Venus cordially walked over and she's like, "Oh my God, is it okay if I pet your dog?" And the lady was super awesome. She was super nice. She's like, "Absolutely, it's okay." And so Venus like starts to crouch down, and the boxer is doing all the stereotypical boxer things that I have seen in 20 plus years of watching dogs and having boxers and watching boxers and having boxers, like all of the wiggle stuff
And wearing boxers.
and the rambunctious stuff, and wearing boxers. Jesus, probably not for.
I know.
It's a while.
Yeah,
like
I used to.
silk ones. Yeah, boxers. No.
Not comfortable.
I like to keep the tinies.
Yeah.
So the boxer is doing all the wiggle stuff, and Venus gets up and it paws and does the things that boxers do, all the posture stuff. And the lady's like, "Oh, stay down." And Venus is like, "It's okay. I understand. It's okay. I'm good with it. We had boxer too." They apparently had lost a boxer. I can't remember the timeline, but they had lost a boxer just recently. Their boxer was 10 months old. It was kind of like a cross between Shiny. If you remember, Shiny was almost all like a caramel. Yeah. And Jax was like a brindle. So he kind of had like dark coloring with some sort of he was mostly brindle, but he kind of had stripes to an extent. This was almost like Shiny, completely caramel, but had much more distinctive random brindle striping, a very unique color, and very boxer head. Boxer body, wasn't obese, wasn't too tiny, was pretty much Shiny size. And Venus is over there just loving on this dog, and I am continuing to walk around. And then they part their ways, and Venus gave love to the dog. Eventually it settled down, and there was pets involved, and then Venus gets back, and she's like starting to have a moment, and I went, man, no way. So we go back to looking at fruit trees. We're looking for limes or some sort of another dwarf citrus to put in the backyard, and we make another pass around, and we're coming headlong into the dog again. And then Venus goes to pet again, and the lady's like, "Oh, you could come over here." And I went, "I know exactly how this ends."
There is no room in the car right now.
I said, I know how this ends. I said, I know I'm totally okay with this. There's nothing but love here, but I cannot. Yeah. I said, it's okay. It's not, I don't want to be rude, but like, I can't. Yeah. I can't. And Venus went back over there, and she gave it some more loves, and then we continued on, and we was both like nope, I can't. I can't. It was a very beautiful dog. Yeah. I didn't realize how much of a boxer dog person I was. They are 100% like my spirit animal kind of a thing. I absolutely love everything about that dog breed. It's just a gorgeous dog, a gorgeous, perfect size for like a single family home with a decent sized yard. You don't have to have too big of a yard, and their size spectrum can afford you a decent home with a decent backyard, and you probably aren't punishing their like inherent need to have space. Yeah. Particularly if you walk them or get them outside and play with them. Yeah. But man, it's hard. I know. And she like, and then we got back, and we were telling hours later, we were telling Piper, like, we ran, and it was, again, it's like it's a heavy sigh thing. Man, I have nothing but love for that dog and dogs of that breed.
So we have a situation where the girls are constantly like looking at SPCA websites and looking at the dogs that they have available, and oh, Max needs a buddy, and I'm like, no. Oh, I'm like, I don't want another dog. Yeah. No. Because I'm home all day. Yeah. That's the other thing. Like, I have to be able to, like, be working. And if I have a dog, Max is so low
maintenance.
Yeah. But, like, it's sort of got me a little spoiled, right, to a certain
yeah.
extent. So it's like if you have another dog that is super high maintenance. So like the biggest problem with Max is he wants to go in and out of the back door all the time, and we don't have a dog door. So it's like I'm constantly getting up and having to open the door and let him in or let him out. Yeah. And that's fine. I don't mind doing that at all. But like I don't want to ruin that.
It would be I suppose it would be different if you had to go back to commuting. Like if you had to go into the office, like people, like being alone is not.
I mean, there's a cat in the house too, so I mean,
sure,
and they do get along. It's not like they're at odds.
But if as someone that had ebbed and flowed with a single dog and then dogs with buddies, certainly it's hard for me to make an assessment because I was always home.
Yeah.
But dog demeanor, in my ability to leave was always easier on me when I knew that they weren't going to be alone. They had a buddy. Certainly Genesis went for a time as a solo dog, but then had Armageddon. And then it was like, buddies are better. Yeah. Like they got along. Buddies are better.
I mean, I totally get that, and I see the benefits, but Max gets lost when he's just with Chandler's dogs.
Oh yeah,
like
sure.
He sort of shuts down a little bit and wants to like go find some place where
he's too much.
There's too much
over
chaos for
sensory
him.
Type of thing.
Yeah. So if you get the wrong dog, is
sure,
as more problematic than having no dog. Yeah, no other dog.
Certainly, I could tell Armageddon as a Boston Terrier, he got along well with Genesis. But there was certainly an amplification of the attachment once Genesis had passed to me until we had Shiny. Yeah. And then it was like he was like sort of middle-aged, not quite grumpy old man with Shiny as a puppy, but then they got along and they kept each other as companions. Jax, with the three of them, I feel like made the whole thing a little bit better. Certainly Armageddon then became grumpy old man, and then Shiny and Jax were like bosom buddies. And that made when Armageddon passed, like, I mean, you can't put your head inside the mind of a dog, but they, Shiny and Jax having each other was like, oh, well, I'm sure it probably sucked.
You're still here.
Yeah, but you're still here.
Yeah, I'm still here. I think.
Yeah, but, to add to that while you're still home is like almost like we're okay.
Yeah,
we're okay.
Like
I'm okay.
Like the dog and the cat that we have now are super hands off for me all day.
I'm good.
Kind
of a thing. Yeah.
So, I mean, that's. I don't know. I don't want more than one dog. I don't think.
Yeah.
Yeah. You asked me about my pool. I'm just going to switch gears a little bit. I have this shitty Intex above ground pool.
Yeah.
And we replaced it post-COVID, right after COVID, during COVID. I think we drove to Reno and
before it got shortage, didn't it? Or right when it was shortage?
Yeah, I think we like picked it up. We had to drive to Reno to get it.
Okay.
And when we got the new pool, it changed. Like the design changed. Like the pool we had prior had a pump inlet or an outlet for the pump water to come into the pump, and then an inlet back into the pool. So it only had two. And the new one has three. So it has one water return, and two water feeds. And they did that because apparently the government mandated that there had to be two so that for kids or whatever. So that,
so the suction wasn't.
Yeah.
Okay.
And not only did they do that, but they also they changed the design of how the fittings fit to the pool.
Okay.
So imagine now it's like a rubber sleeve.
Yeah.
It's like a circular rubber sleeve that's like sort of welded into the wall and sticks out a few inches.
Okay.
And then there's a fitting on the inside of the pool that goes into the rubber sleeve and sticks out inside the rubber sleeve on the outside of the pool.
Okay.
Right? And then on the outside of the pool, the hose goes over the rubber sleeve, which is on top of the fitting that's inside the pool.
This sounds like a really good Saturday night. Okay.
And then there's a clamp that goes on the hose,
Sure.
and in theory it would seal on the rubber,
Right.
and seal both parts.
Okay.
And we have a bigger pump because we have always so much dirt in the pool that I need to have enough suction.
So that you have a bigger pump than
what came with it.
Okay.
A larger pump and a sand filter.
Okay.
So normally it comes with a small pump that has a little cartridge inside of it.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just not adequate for what you want to do when you're cleaning your pool, especially for how much stuff ends up in mine. I've complained about this many times.
Sure.
So ever since we got this new pool, we run a skimmer. So the skimmer hangs on the side of the pool. It's a round bucket, really, with a hose on the bottom.
Okay.
And in the bucket floats this circular thing that has a waterfall thing.
Okay.
So it sucks water and it pulls this thing down and water comes over it.
Okay.
And that pulls all the debris from the water top into the skimmer.
Mm-hmm.
And
so like bury us a glory hole.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
But the problem is that if you don't plug up the other pump feed, because you have two, right?
Right.
If you don't plug the other one up, then the skimmer doesn't have enough suction to do its job.
Oh. Right.
Right.
Okay.
Because now it's
following you 100%.
It's drawing water from
Right.
two inlets instead of just one.
Right.
And I need all the water to come from the skimmer side.
Right.
So you do that. They give you a thing, you can put it on there. As soon as I put that on there, on the non-skimmer feed, the hose starts filling up with air. So somewhere air is getting into the top of the hose, and then the pump has enough suction that it draws enough air in, that air fills up the hose, and then it ends up getting into the pump, and then you lose prime, and then the pump's worthless.
Oh.
And it happens within like 5 or 10 minutes.
Oh, interesting.
And I've had this problem ever since forever. I've been able to like make it work somehow, and it's been working okay.
Mm-hmm.
But then I had those two hoses that come off the pool that go to the pump, or they go to a T before it goes to the pump. Those hoses weather and they crack over however many summers it's been. So I ordered a couple new hoses.
Mm-hmm.
Since the new hoses have arrived, I have not been able to get a seal so that they won't fill up with air somehow.
I gotcha.
So it's been a very frustrating. So I have this situation where I've got the water is lower in the pool and I can't run the pump because the pump's just going to run out of, you know what I mean? It's just going to fill up with air anyway.
Yeah.
So then.
So you're behind.
Yeah. And I don't want to put chemicals in there.
Sure.
Because I can't run the filter anyway.
So is it how old is the rubber seals that is passing through the pool wall? Is it something
it's part of the actual pool liner. Oh. So it's actually welded into the pool liner.
So is it safe to say that the hose clamping that's happening on that interface is not sealing, so you're sucking in a small amount of air?
In theory, I believe that air is making it in from the outside, not inside the pool, right? But from the outside, and it's coming in through. And what's crazy is I have two metal clamps that I am clamping down with my drill to tighten it. Two on the same hose, tightening them both on each one because there's two of them. So there's four clamps.
It's still sucking in air through some
way or another with brand new hoses and everything. It's still somehow getting air in there. So I hopefully have a solution, which was to I have some parts coming. This is just interesting. I'm just talking this through a little bit. So there's a part that you can put that goes on that rubber thing that sticks out of the side of the pool that converts that connection to the old Intex style connector, which is what the pump uses.
Okay.
So I ordered 2 of those. So one for each one. One of them I can put, and it's a plunger stopper. So you can turn the water off completely. So once you mount this thing on there, the one that would be sucking the air has the plunger. So turn it off so water wouldn't just pour out, because I'm not even going to put a hose on it, right? And then hook I think this is my solution, is to put that plunger on one side and then take the other one and put it on, and then have the hose go directly from the pump into this, because it's the same fitting that the pump already has with hoses that I had previously used with the old pool. It sounds really convoluted, but their fucking connections are really difficult to. They've got 1 1/4 inch and 1 1/2 inch, and some are threaded and some aren't. It's just like a weird combo. Like, they made it really difficult to like.
I could see how in a situation where you're just hose clamping 2 round things onto each other, that even with a gross amount of torque, like I've seen this with like a garden hose, if you start to compress something, eventually
You're going to get a buckle or something.
you get a buckle of the inner thing.
So you think it's too much force on it?
I think it's possible that you're just compressing. Yeah, I think you're either buckling the outer hose or you're buckling that inner thing, and it's just. I mean, it's only gonna take
That's interesting.
a pinhole of a wrinkle of a buckle, and then you're tight as fuck.
Yeah.
But if any of those things like wrinkle just
enough that you'll draw air through.
Yeah, it's going to pull air.
That's a good thought.
Switching to a twist, if I understand that was the old method.
It's not a twist in so much as it's going to twist on. It actually is. So the new thing has a twistable clamp that puts pressure evenly down instead of like with the clamp. So it's going to squeeze. It actually has little fingers, and then when you tighten it, or whatever, the fingers like kind of like close down on the rubber part that's sticking out. Yeah. So that's what the new part's going to do. So hopefully that will make a difference.
Because I've seen, here's the closest example, like and working with like PVC, where you have to cut out like a small segment, and then you need like a union. I don't know if you've seen these. Usually, it's like on a piece of pipe. It's you're going to insert it onto a union, and then you tighten this buckle thing on some very thin-walled PVC.
It'll misform.
We're
something.
men of men with huge gripinators.
Right.
I have over tightened the union that's effectively just like a slide on and a pinch, that I have crumpled a PVC wall to where I have heard in a repair, like as soon as I turned on to test to make sure it's sealed, like,
oh yeah.
And it wasn't until I backed it off, but then I'd already done damage because I had deformed the PVC. So
I can check that.
It would certainly be possible.
Yeah.
Like if the rubber isn't supple, or if it's been compressed enough to where now it's starting to buckle on itself, I could see like you're gonna suck air.
So the nice part is, I think with the new parts, as long as I can get that left side to seal, so that water that's not under pressure, which is just water residing in the pool, doesn't leak out. Right? Yeah. That's the goal.
Yeah.
If I can use that with the plunger, because it's got a built-in plunger in it, then I can plunge it off. Then I don't have to worry about that second one at all, because I never use it. I never use it. It just has to be hooked up because it's a hole in the pool.
Right.
So if I can get that guy to seal up, then I don't really give a shit what happens on the other side.
You don't have shit. It's not like you're not worried about infants, right? So could you just run Yeah, cap it. Fuck it. Cap it.
Yeah, I'm gonna. That's the goal. The other thing is if I have problems on the side that's gonna be used, I bought some silicone. I'll just silicone the shit out of the inside and the outside.
Yeah.
So the inside where the thing goes from inside the pool into the black tube.
Yeah.
And then on the outside where the hose goes on top, I will fucking silicone the...
Yeah.
I will silicone the shit out of it.
I'll empty a goddamn tube of cock all over this shit. Then Teflon tape. Then duct tape.
And then some caulking.
Yeah. And all the cock. All of it.
I'm been so frustrated with this shit.
A whole tube of that shit.
Oh my God. It's like I called him even when the pool was brand new. I'm like, what the fuck? Like it just keeps like losing prime. Like it's just suck. Is this pump too much? Oh no, it should be fine.
Then you get some fucking Flex Seal on there.
Yes, Flex Seal. That's actually a good idea.
Yeah. There you go.
Build it. Yeah, build it up a little bit.
Yeah, there you go. Just
I have some.
toss some Flex Seal shit.
I have some of that.
Yeah, I think I have a tub of it too.
Yeah.
You never know. I have like leftover shit from or butyl tape.
Well, I would just take the fitting that goes first of all, drain the pool down, right?
Yeah.
The fitting that's inside the pool that goes into the rubber tube that sticks out of the pool. Fucking Flex Seal or silicone the shit out of that and then jam it in the hole and let it cure.
Yeah.
Then silicone the top of the tube, the black tube, and then put the hose on it and then clamp it.
Sure. Yeah.
Done.
Yeah. Or stick a lead pipe inside the tube so that it acts as a reinforcement. So when you start to clamp down, it can't compress anymore.
Right. Because it's just plastic and rubber, right?
Yeah, man. Fucking stick a lead pipe in there. When in doubt, stick a lead pipe.
I was so fucking defeated on Saturday. Like, honestly, I was like, what the fuck? I don't have anything that will fix this. You know, like it was one of those moments. I was so fucking irritated. All I wanted to do was put some shock in the pool and a bunch of chlorine, let the pump run. I couldn't even do it.
Get drunk and float. And you're like,
yeah,
dude.
I just don't want the pool to be green.
I'm
you know,
coming up short on my drunken float part.
Yeah.
I need the pool to work, baby.
And it's starting to get warm.
It's going
to
get
like
mid-80s. 10
80s.
degrees cold tomorrow.
Oh, that's fine.
It was like, well, we got shortchanged today. It was supposed to be 10 degrees cooler than yesterday.
It was nice today, though.
It was fine. I was fine, but I don't think it was 10 degrees.
No.
But tomorrow and Friday, it's supposed to drop into like highs of 60s. I'm like,
no, can we get more of that?
Yeah, I'm like, ooh, here we go, baby.
Can we get like an Alaska summer?
Listen, you're getting a little aggressive.
No.
With those wants.
I'm being
like 70s.
I'm fine with
What's Alaska summer?
Probably in the 60s. Late 60s.
As long as I get all the sun. I got a garden, man.
No.
I need that shit to kick out.
You don't need heat to get your garden. You just need sun.
Oh, listen, fucker. I am actively assisting with botany, and heat is very much a thing.
Botany.
And I don't want to get out the heat lamps for my garden.
You just need just build a greenhouse. Get it over with now. But you won't need it here come fucking May.
I think most of that stuff is
We'll be like wishing it was winter time.
I didn't look past the forecast of this week. Is it warming back up into the 80s again?
Probably.
I do like getting out of the bed and just putting shorts on. I'm back to, but obviously you can tell by now I've got a light hoodie on.
God damn it!
Is it rain?
No, but we have right here. This is terrible. Next Thursday they're saying 87 degrees.
Oh shit! Okay, that's
what I'm saying.
Well, you went the wrong way.
Yeah.
Now we're like.
Well, we got a couple days of like overcasty skies.
We're in Tijuana
60s,
summer.
70.
I don't need Tijuana summer.
And then we have an overcast day with 81 degrees. That's gonna be bullshit and fucking muggy.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got 85, 87, and then another fucking humid day at 86 with clouds.
Fucking.
But the forecast will change, but that's what we're up against.
God damn it.
But it could be wrong because we don't have any, NOAA or whoever the fuck does the weather anymore, so who knows?
As we walked in here, early Venus goes, "Fuck, we can't drink milk anymore."
Why? Because raw milk.
They
dropped the FDA
they
or whatever.
dropped the staffing so they can't actively test milk.
Yeah.
And I went,
How is can I ask a question?
Yeah. Does it have a 5-minute answer?
Probably. How is any of that making America great? How is it making America great? Can anyone tell me? Like, why don't we just go back to the 1900s? Like back to 1908 or something, you know?
I was pulling the SD card, #AJA. I was pulling the PakMedia out of the
Good correction, sir.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I on my way to put it on the table, and as I looked past my news feed for the Wall Street Journal, I saw that BYD and another Chinese battery manufacturer have unveiled 5-minute charging. 5-minute fast charging for their EVs.
That's equivalent to getting gas in a car.
It is. That was like the chunk of the headline of the article, that they are now, China and their battery technology and their advancements are now working through a fast charging solution for EVs that is now just short of comparable of you probably the amount of time it's going to take you to pull up and fill up your F-250 full of gas, give or take 90 seconds.
Yeah.
For an EV with 200 plus miles of range, easy. This is not
That's a game changer.
Yeah. This is not American battery tech. These are not American battery solutions or American EV built cars. These are foreign made devices.
And
we're behind.
Meanwhile, we've got Elon Musk.
Right. Well, but let's open up more fucking tar sands or whatever, and let's put more pipelines in. Like, we're behind. We're behind technology.
But here's the thing: it's all so ridiculous because we're talking about the same party. Let's talk politics real fast.
Yeah.
The same party that traditionally has been completely against electrified vehicles and pushing gas, which they still are,
sure,
yet is in bed with Elon Musk because he was willing to give up money to the administration to get his Doge, right?
Right.
Like the amount of...
Like I can't make that make sense.
No, like it hurts my brain.
Yeah.
And then I see, people have been protesting at all of the Teslas here in locally here in Rockland. We have a Tesla dealer, very nice Tesla dealer.
Mm-hmm.
People have been going batshit crazy protesting there.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's an ad that shows up that says we want to hire people to come. And then the fucking Trump people show up to protest the protesters and make like a truck train. I mean, it doesn't make sense because those people are the same people where 4 months ago they wouldn't be caught dead side-eyeing a Tesla,
right,
other than rolling coal at it, right?
Right. Vandalizing a power station.
Yeah, cutting the cables on the charging station or something.
Now you're out here manning a wall, protecting the smooth brains.
Oh man,
like, what?
There's so much of it.
Bipolar in support. I struggle,
and it just feels like it's all of it is just like, well, whatever they say, we are completely against it.
Yeah.
Right. And Trump's like one of those people, in my opinion, where tomorrow he could come out and argue that the sky is purple. And people would go, yeah, it's purple. Just because some liberal...
I mean, he's a good businessman.
Is he?
So
he bankrupted a casino.
So he would know what color the sky really... He's probably got access to some classified information that... that proves that the sky is actually purple, and I trust that. He's a straight shooter.
It's so much hypocritical thinking.
Yes.
That just bewilders me. None of it's based on any sort of logic or common sense.
Yeah.
It's just on like fucking people.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Like I just don't understand our politics these days.
Mm.
I mean, not to mention the fact that every single day is an announcement of some brand new shit show.
Yeah.
Whether it be tariffs or some
executive orders.
Yeah. Every single day is some new shit. And it makes no sense. It just makes no sense. Now, I've been very happy to see the courts stepping in many places and doing the important things, but there are a lot of issues. Like our Constitution is definitely under fire.
Mm.
When people can just be taken off the streets with zero due process and shipped to El Salvador, that's very troubling.
Sure.
Because then you're just saying the Constitution doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And I don't care.
I enacted or invoked a thing, and that means I can do the thing that I want. And that skirts all these other things.
You also swore an oath to the Constitution.
Right. Like,
so
pick which ones are we picking today?
Yeah, what's important?
Yeah.
I'm very frustrated, as you could tell, but was that enough time?
3 months in.
Oh, I thought you were saying.
Oh, yeah, we're at time.
Yeah, we're 3 months in, and we're at 100% shit show.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe 110%.
We're like full tilt bananas.
Yeah.
And we're not even half a year.
Let alone what's happening in the international community. Like, people fucking hate U.S. right now.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Tourism down. The fucking...
none of our... Like, no one can...
Businesses, exports down.
Yeah.
We're fucked off entirely.
Soybean exports gone. Farmers they're gonna be getting hit pretty bad.
Just wait. Yeah. What are you gonna do with those crops?
So we didn't talk about this much, but my in-laws are farmers. Like, they're retired, but they their income is derived from farm property.
Okay.
They have a family trust. Their income is based on how well the farms do.
Mm-hmm.
Some of that farm property is subsidized by the government to not farm because the government has traditionally tried to control pricing and stuff like that.
Sure.
So they say, well, we'll give you this much to plant this on your property.
Mm-hmm.
In the last Trump administration, they basically lost their house. They could not afford to live in the home that they were in, which is right close to here. And ended up having to move and rent. So they're not real happy. And I think they voted for Trump in that first election. And they're, oh my gosh, not happy. And I would imagine they're going to get even harder hit, which is terrible to say. I would imagine. I assume that the family trust is going to take a large hit from an income standpoint.
Does their sunset and how they want to sunset hinge entirely on these subsidies? Or, like, is their quality of life dependent on, like, does it get worse for them?
I mean, it could if they can't afford to live where they're living now.
So
they've already downsized.
I was going to say,
couple.
Do they downsize again?
Yeah, they've moved. So they moved from this house up to Sun City,
Right.
and that rent got to be too much, so they moved into a much smaller
Oh, okay.
house. So they're in a different house now.
Since the time I knew that they lived, I'm going to just say Peter Jensen,
Uh-huh.
they've gone to another. I knew they went from that house to another Sun City.
And then they're in a
so
new
they're
house.
in a second downsize
Yes.
to fit their income.
Yeah.
Not because they just wanted smaller, but they were right sizing again to an income change.
Right.
Shit.
Yeah, I know. It's troublesome.
Shit.
So that's just one aspect, and you know,
yeah.
There's, you know,
But,
hundreds of thousands of farms or whatever,
right?
You know, more than 1 million or more.
I'm waiting to have a conversation with my dad to see how I don't know how often he talks to as we talked about in Tractors the other episode. I don't know how often he touches base with our South Dakota relatives, but I'd be curious to know because it's never really come up, like how these types of government subsidies or government regulated large 1,000+ acreage types of farm, you know, output capacities is impacted for my family.
Yeah.
In the Dakotas,
Yeah.
because we've never talked about that, but it's probably very much a real thing. I'd be curious to know the next time he talks with his cousins.
Yeah.
Like, what's that looking like? How are they doing? Like, what's that? What are they feeling as far as economic repercussions from what's going on?
Yeah, I mean, at one point they had like a gas pump on one of their properties.
Oh, really?
That they had crude oil.
Like the things you see going down south?
Yeah, exactly. They had one of those.
Oh, yeah,
I've been to it.
Yeah.
You know, it stopped producing crude at some point, and so then it was just pumping natural gas.
Oh.
And that would get pumped into a tank, and then someone would come service it, and then they would get a check.
Oh.
You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
They have that going on. There's multiple pieces of property that plant different kinds of things, and then they have a family that they've worked with for years. I think it's a Mexican family, actually. Who knows what's doing to them?
Oh, shit.
That they like pay to like manage the farm, like as far as like plowing and planting and maintaining and actually harvesting and you know, putting down fertilizer.
Yeah.
Like I've seen Raj write checks for fertilizer. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, there's a lot of that kind of stuff that happens that I'm not privy to, and I'm not sure that it's just because it's none of my business, so they don't tell me, or if I asked, maybe I would get more information. Maybe, I don't know. But it's very interesting to me.
Sure.
And kind of a bummer, because when Shan's parents have passed away, that becomes Shanna's and her brother's, right?
Right.
So they'll split that income 50-50. So this, you know, trust that it goes to the kids of the so it'll skip me, but it'll go to Chandler and Melanie, you know? So, I mean, it's just kind of a bummer to see. I knew them. I've known Shanna since 1988, and they've always done very well monetarily. Yeah, Raj retired, God, maybe when he was 40.
Oh, wow.
I mean, he's been retired for a long time, a very long time, and he was in insurance for years. But the money that came from the trust was enough that he could retire.
Man.
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
And now, like, they're struggling.
A decade ago, you could have been retired.
Yeah. I know. I know.
Man.
So it's just, you know, if that's happening to someone here in California who owns property in the Midwest, what is it doing to the people in the Midwest?
Right.
You know?
Right.
And that's just one aspect of many.
Sure.
So I have a lot of concerns about that stuff, you know?
I wonder how long it goes before there's a wake-up call. Midterms, you think?
Oh, I think absolutely midterms will.
Is it going to show a reflection of?
Well, when we went,
Okay, we're done.
I think so. When we went to the Bernie AOC thing, they were making they were saying that we really need to just flip 3 seats
In the House? Oh, the House is definitely close.
Yeah, and which I'm not sure which one, the House or the Senate.
Yeah.
But that we just need 3 seats to get majority. You know. And Kevin Kiley here has been fucking up enough that people are super pissed at him. So that could change. I mean, that could be one of the seats right here, you know? So I think there's going to be enough people that are, and what I've seen videos from around the country of people going to these town hall meetings that are super angry with their Republican representatives. I think a lot of those seats will flip. That's the hope, anyway.
At least stymie some of the horse shit that's going on.
Well, because what's happening right,
bad.
Yeah, from Congress's standpoint, everything's red, so they have no
gates.
Yeah, there's no reason for them to make any waves when Trump's just doing his thing. There's no incentive. Yeah, because if they're a bad Republican, then he'll talk shit about them, you know. So you have that going on also. Luckily, like I said, the courts have stepped in, and I've read lots of articles recently. I don't know if you have too, if you've been in tune with it, but lots of articles where people are talking about the judges have ruled against Trump on this and that, and, you know.
They're at least putting some roadblocks up.
I
think is the general consensus. Not across the board, not unilaterally, but they are in some of these cases. They're like, okay, that's a bridge too far, or let's talk about that because we're not sure. Made a judgment.
Yeah, I mean, one of them was a 9-0 judgment from the Supreme Court that said they got to bring him back, and they're like, no. So what do? You hold him in contempt.
No. Yeah.
And then that becomes a criminal thing, I believe.
Yeah, put Pam Bondi out here.
See, there's another problem. Is he puts all these people that are loyal to him in all these positions, and then no one's going to do anything. Kash Patel at the FBI, right? I mean, Pam Bondi. Like, everybody's all part of the same scheme.
Hexeth.
It feels very Nazi party.
Certainly, birds of a feather. No one's really the voice of sanity in the room.
No one will speak up to him.
Right.
They're all yes men.
Yeah.
Kissing his ass. Yeah. And if they do speak up to him, guess what? They're the first guy fired or whatever.
Yeah.
Because you're not towing the line, buddy.
Right.
You know.
You're not gonna.
And that's frustrating from a voter standpoint to see that shit happening, especially when you didn't vote for any of this stuff. So, I mean, that's the great hope is midterms. So fucking vote, man.
Yes.
God damn, get out there and vote.
Register to vote.
Vote. Wash your hands.
Return the cart.
Wash your ass.
Stay up to date on your shots.
Make the call if you need to.
Pick up a broom.
Check your oil, Tony.
We'll catch you next week.
Do the kindness.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Thanks for listening. Appreciate it.
Bye.